Some of you might have heard that SteelSeries is coming out with their first ever wireless gaming earbuds in the Arctis Gamebuds, and I'm going to tell you all about them in this video. So just like I do with gaming headsets, I want to kick this off talking about comfort, as I think comfort is still key even with gaming earbuds, even though it could be a little bit more subjective because the insides of ears are a lot different. Now inside your box you can get a replacement set of small tips, and then you also get some large tips. On the buds themselves, you get the medium tips on there, which is what I use throughout my use. But I want to show you the weight. Now, this is with the earbuds in it, and the dongle actually stored inside the case. So if you're traveling with them or put them in your pocket, they're going to be 63.7 grams, not heavy by any means. And then as far as the buds themselves, with those medium tips on there, they're coming in at 11.2 grams. So very nice and lightweight. Now, this is where it becomes a little bit more subjective person to person, especially with earbuds. As you see, the design of the SteelSeries ones are kind of like that little, I don't know what you want to call these, just the inside shape of your ear right there. You can see they curve around right in there. Bam, on the outside you have your button, which we'll talk about features and functions. But again, you see you got that design. If you look at some AirPods, you got that hook hanging down right there, kind of traditional as we're used to. And if we look at some other gaming earbuds, say if we look at these ROG Cetras, again, kind of that standard earbud type style where it hangs down with the arm, tucks in there, and then the arm rests against your cheek. So the cool thing about the SteelSeries ones, for me at least, is again, when you get them in there, you kind of put them in, push them forward a little bit like that, and they tuck right in there, and they do not budge. You almost forget they're in there, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Like if you use them on travel, you forget that they're right. But again, you can move around, you can exercise, you can run. They are not budging one bit. And the cool thing is they're not like jammed inside of my ear to get them to stay still. A lot of earbuds, again, with the standard type of hook down, you kind of got to get them in there and kind of wedge them in to stay still. These are not jamming inside my ear, but they're still staying nice and steady. I really like them. I think the fit of these, again, will be a little bit dependent person to person, how your ear's going to fit when, again, a traditional type of earbud, you kind of just set them in there and they kind of rest inside of your ear. So for me, stinking cozy hands down, but again, you're gonna have to try them on and see how they fit for you. Buckle up for this segment as it's gonna be a little long-winded because we have a lot to talk about here within the features and functions of these earbuds. And the first thing I wanna show you is the box. As you can see right here, you got Bluetooth, you got your dongle, plug it in, 3 taps to switch from Bluetooth or wireless via your dongle. It is not simultaneous, it's one or the other. And as you can see, it's 3 taps to go to one or the other, but you can still control it when you're in 2.4 via the dongle on your phone. Again, I'm going to show you that as well. Popping the top open, you can see some of the pre-selections that you have set for the button presses on the buds themselves to cycle, again, tracks and calls, so on and so forth. When you pop the buds open out of here, again, your dongle is stored in there. And it's really cool. I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but right back there where the dongle actually stays in, it's got like this little rubber gasket in there to hold it in. So again, they are not going to fall out if you pop the case open or anything. They're in there really nice and secure. And your dongle is USB-C, and you see it's kicked off to the side. So if you're using it on your PlayStation, it's not going to block your USB-A port. Really like how they did that. By the way, you also get an adapter, USB-C to A right there, in case you don't got that on your PC. Really cool to include that. And then a C-to-C charging cable, which these are also QI. I just dropped them, but they are QI charging, as you can see here. And if I take them right onto a charger, plop them down, you'll see fires right up and starts charging. Absolutely love that there. But anyways, as far as the buds, they magnetize right in. As you see, you have your charge ports. And the cool thing I like about this case, just to mention one other thing before I get into the features on the buds, is it's not just like a standard case where you just kind of pop it open and it closes on you. You can actually pop it open, and it has this one little extra notch on the back right there, and it actually holds it open rather than automatically closing on you. So again, a really nice touch I like as well. Now, right in line with the QI charging of the case, the buds themselves are roughly around 10 hours of battery life, but then within the case, you get up to 30 hours of battery life. So you never got to worry about that. Myself, when I get up to get a drink or whatever, take them off, slap them in the case, get a little bit of juice, and I'm good to go. And then again, you can set them right down on your QI charger. So battery life is perfectly fine. The other thing is as far as the range, like if I walk across my house, pretty good. I got to go across my house all the way into the other bathroom, which is good ways over there. And then it starts chopping up a little bit. The weird thing I noticed, it was always like the left earbud that would cut out. The right my earbud was always fine. So I don't know, maybe that was just my copy, that was just weird. But again, I had to go a long distance away. So again, if you just leave your phone here and go grab a drink, you're gonna be perfectly fine, I guess, pending where your refrigerator is. So diving deeper into the features and functions, I wanna show you some of the options that you can control it. Again, as far as the buds themselves, it's not that random tap where you gotta pound on the earbud multiple times as we've seen with many buds before. You actually have a physical button here. It's this little tiny button. It's just a very light press and it goes in, so you don't gotta jam inside your ear or pound on your ear. Love how they implemented that little button in there as well. And you saw the controls on the box with multiple presses, how to cycle through end calls and stuff. But anyways, inside of the app, just like we saw on the Arctis Nova 5s, you got multiple controls here. So number one, you got your battery as far as the case, left and right, what you're connected to. You got 2.4 and Bluetooth settings. So if you just click over there, you're gonna be able to set your Bluetooth functions as you want right there, as far as EQs and such, and then also for your 2.4. So as you saw, the EQ changed right there, which is really cool. You got tons of different EQs, like holy smokes, like look at all these right there. And they're really cool because it's not like heavy bass and treble or whatever. It's like mild increments between each of them. So you're gonna have to take some time and dabble with one. Baldur's Gate 3 has been good for me. A little bit of immersion and then some treble. I'm over here talking about sound when I should be talking about the features and functions. Now you actually have ANC and transparency, which you can turn off right in here, or you can actually, again, multi-press on the earbud itself and cycle that as you want. Now, again, you can adjust your volume of that if you want low, medium, or high transparency. Same with the ANC, low, medium, or high, whatever you want. And this is some darn good ANC, like pretty close to like Bose ANC or Apple's ANC. This is some of the best ANC I've experienced on a gaming product for sure. I don't know if that's more to do with, again, the fitment, how it's kind of closing off that backspace of your ear, but it is very, very good. As far as microphone, you can adjust that right there. You got your side tone as well, and then your audio limiter or volume limiter. Make sure to click this off because if you leave it on, it's going to be, the volume is going to be toned down a lot. So make sure you click this off instantly, whether you're on PC or on your phone. And then as far as Bluetooth, you have all that adjustability as well. So you have a different setting for Bluetooth and a different setting for 2.4. Really cool how simple it is. And again, all that you can adjust right on your phone. Now I got something really important to show you here. As you're seeing the GG, the SteelSeries engine loaded up. And while I'm showing you this, you're going to be hearing the microphone from the earbuds themselves. And we all know earbud microphones are never the best. But anyways, I just want to give you the mic sample. That's what you're going to be hearing through this segment. But this is really important as well, not just engine, which I'm going to show you right now. As you saw on the app, you got all of these different EQs to choose from, and it saves from the app over to your PC. Again, you can set your Bluetooth options and then your 2.4 options. Absolutely love that. Coming down here, you got mic volume. Right now, we're on 6. We can crank it up here. You're hearing the microphone on 10 right now. And if you come down here, you're going to hear the microphone on 2. This is level 2. We'll go right back up to our level 6. This is what you're hearing. Microphone preview, that volume limiter I told you about, and again, it gives you a little info guide right here. I just highly recommend you turn that off. Mic side tone, which I really don't hear much of anything, all the way up to medium. I got to kind of come up here to high, and you got a nice subtle side tone on the back. You're not screeching, you're not yelling at yourself. It's just a nice subtle side tone, but it's also the same as you come over here and click transparency. It almost does the sound, but transparency you'll pick up a little bit more out there. Again, very good noise cancellation here, which you can adjust the amount right in here, and whenever you click any of these, it'll let you know ANC or transparency, and you can adjust the value right there, just like we saw on the app. The other thing is make sure you click save each time that you adjust something on here to save it. And then coming over here, you have your settings as far as the buttons that I showed you. You can customize them right there if you want. Other options if you want to choose. Same over here, and then the presets that you have. And of course, if you take the earbuds out, audio continue playing or to pause, and then your battery save. Now, diving into what's really important that I really want to cover here is the EQ. Not so much as far as sound, that's personal preference. I think we all get that, and we'll talk about that in sound a little bit more. But having multiple EQs overlaid. So we got this active. Say if you got a sonar active, which I have off, and I have it set to flat. I'm not going to go in and activate all that right now. But so you got sonar, you got engine, but diving even further, I like using Dolby Atmos, and you can see my audio or my spatial sound is off. But I got all these options: Windows Sonic, Dolby, DTS. So I'm going to click Atmos. So come over here. Now our buds are coming up. Settings. Now we got this EQ, and this is what I preferred for the buds. If you're just curious, pulled my highs down a pinch, had my bass kind of round up there, almost smiley with a little bit of a frown at the end right there. This is just what I really prefer: a little bit of bass.
tone the highs down. Anyways, my main point is now we got this active. Now we got that active. And if you didn't set your sonar to flat, you had that active. Okay, so you got three EQs overlaying each other. And what that's going to result in is a whole lot of popping noise. It's going to sound like the drivers want to rip out of these earbuds. So what you have to do, and SteelSeries is updating a FAQ in there in their info to let you know about this. But what you have to do is set this to flat. Make sure your sonar is set to flat. Go on and turn it off just to disable it, but make sure it's also set to flat. And then you can come back down and use your Atmos. Now, if you want to do that up a little bit different, again, go into your sound, come over here to your buds. Let's go on and go to our spatial sound. Click that off. We got that closed out. Then come into engine and use your EQ that you want right here, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Again, what I'm telling you about here is you don't want multiple EQs overlaying each other. You want to have only one active or you're going to get some ridiculous popping in the background.
So I apologize for rambling on about that for so much, but I really wanted to emphasize and mold that out there so you guys know, like, okay, we're on PC or heck, even on PlayStation, same thing. You got to set it to that, I believe it's PCM on PlayStation, but over here, you just got to have one running rather than the other. You can't have like engine and then again, your console running. So if you're on engine on your phone and on PC, you got to have this set to flat, then you can go to Atmos over there and vice versa. So a little bit confusing. And what I told SteelSeries I think would be really cool if they did like Corsair on their new Virtuoso headset. Whenever you try to activate Atmos on this, whenever you're in IQ, it gives you a straight up warning right on the screen. Now, hey, this is going to disable, and vice versa. If you're trying to use IQ with Atmos active, it'll disable one or the other. I really hope they do something like that with this just to make it simplified. But again, at least they're putting it out there, letting you know right now. And that's why I rambled on so much about it, because I don't want you to, again, put them in and be like, oh man, what the heck's going on here? So just to solidify, you need one app running that's going to be controlling your EQs. Make sure everything else is closed out. All right, so now that I got that out of the way, let's finally talk about sound, as I've already talked quite a bit about it, as I was supposed to be focused on other topics. I apologize, but the sound of these buds are so darn good. And why I state they're good is you're getting detail, right? And it's also blocking that sound. Even with ANC on or off, right? They just lock into your ears, so you're locked into your game. And that's what you're hearing. You're not getting much of that excess sound out. Well, I got, you know, my PC chugging, a fan running, a kid yelling around the house. They just block out that sound, but you're also getting very nice detail. You can play an FPS with these. You can play a story with these. You're getting footsteps. You're getting environment. You're really getting those sounds that you want. Now, no, they are not punchy in the bass segment, which you can pull some bass out of them for sure. As you saw in my EQ there, I pulled out a little bit more bass and actually dropped my highs down a little bit right there just to get a little bit more immersion. That's just the sound I prefer these days. Before I was all highs, now I like a little bit more bass. Not that thumpy, rumbly bass, but just that bass to perform when I'm in, you know, a little bit more of an intense type of situation. And you can really get that out of that. And when I talked about the EQs over here on the app, dabbling with them where there were so many, the cool thing, it's not like treble and bass or bass boost or treble boost, right? You got different segments in there where one's going to pull out a little bit more highs, a little bit more bass. It's the Baldur's Gate. I've never even played that game. I want to, but again, that was an EQ that really worked for me. So just go through it, cycle through. You can be on 2.4, still have your phone up and dabble with those EQs via the Bluetooth, even though it's not simultaneous, but you can dabble with the EQs right there. You don't even really need to go in there and dabble with a custom EQ. There's so many options here, which I've always been one to dabble with a custom EQ. But again, you don't have to, because there's plenty in there. You're going to find that one with more bass or more highs or maybe a little bit more flat or a little more balanced or smiley, whatever. There's something in there to suit you, and it's not drastic changes one from the other, you know. It's these minute differences, and you really be able to find it. And I love being able to adjust them right on the phone. And now some of you may know that I'm also a big music nerd. Like, music's my passion, heck, even before gaming, right? And listening to music with these, you get the same experience as gaming. Whatever genre you listen to, you can really get in there and dabble with any of those preset EQs and set it to you want. I mean, if you want to dive into custom EQ, again, you can do that, but there's plenty in there. We're just going to tap the button, cycle through while you're in game. Like, all right, boom, that's what I want. I listen to a lot of White Stripes, Jack White, very high-pitched guitars and vocals and stuff, and this wasn't piercing, screechy in there, you know? It was really nice and balanced. Now, when I got into Atmos, as you saw, I pulled my highs down a little bit because Atmos boosted up, and I did have to pull my highs down a pinch right there. But as far as that core sound, it's very manageable in every kind of genre you're listening to or game that you're playing. Now, the SteelSeries Gamebuds are going to come in at $150, and I think what they're packing from features, functions, the comfort, the sound, the versatility of them, I think it really justifies that price. I really can't find anything bad about these. The only thing is that finicky issue with the EQ. I wish, again, they would do something where implement and give you a warning. Hey, you got this active, so turn this off. Or let you know just something else is active, so make sure you turn this off. I think that would be nice just for simplicity for the user, and maybe that would come in a future update. They already updated the FAQ again. That's the only thing I can say right there. But as is, what you're getting right here, totally worth $150. Good job, SteelSeries, on your first earbuds.